How's it going, guys? Got a serious video for you here. This is something that's very depressing, especially to me, because I like the guy. Kind of like with Bam Margera and how he murdered Ryan Dunn. I didn't want to believe it at first, but the pieces come together. It makes perfect sense. So, hear me out, guys. I know this is going to be tough for some of y'all to swallow because you probably really like Rob Dyrdek and you think he's a good guy, but the sad truth is, man, he's not. Rob Dyrdek is a businessman. He is not only a businessman, but he is like a CEO. This guy is stupid rich. He's stupid wealthy. And when you have that level of fame, you become extremely corrupt. Money and power corrupts. I mean, like no other. I can't think of anything else that can corrupt a person besides drugs. But really, it is a drug. Having money and fame is an addiction, and you'll do anything you can. You'll stab people in the back, step on heads to get to the top. So let's talk about that and some things that Rob has done. So number one thing, Rob and Big, the show. Everyone knows the show Rob and Big. It really made MTV. It put them back on the map. That show was huge. And there's an interview, a radio interview with Christopher Boykins, aka Big Black, and he's basically telling this guy how he was treated like shit by Rob Dyrdek, and how Rob Dyrdek would shout at him and just be rude to him, and he was just a completely different person. And guys, this tells you, this is the number one sign that shows you that a person is infected, by money and fame and the greed for more. And unfortunately, I think it only got worse for Rob. He just he went on to do a lot of other stuff, and uh, I don't know, like I think he just got worse and worse, and it's really sad. But Rob Dyrdek, he is, like I said, he's a businessman, one of those throat slashing businessmen who'll fuck over someone just for a buck. And that's exactly what he did with Big Black, he ditched him and he just went on to do other things. Fantasy Factory, they did eventually do that again, but that's only because Rob Dyrdek knew there was money involved, and that's why they got back together. And I'm sure Big Black probably needed the money, so I guess that's why he went back to working with him. But as far as I know, Big Black wasn't really on good terms with Rob Dyrdek. Maybe they made up, maybe they didn't. I don't really know. But that's the key thing to remember, guys, is that they were never on good terms to begin with. So yeah, with that said, Rob Dyrdek, he's a scummy guy. But at the same time, there is something about him you can't help but like. I don't know what it is. He kind of reminds me of George W. Bush. He's just kind of cute. He's kind of adorable. You just want to like squeeze his cheeks or something. I don't know. He just has that sort of weird charm to him. And he is somewhat funny. I'll give him that. His show Ridiculousness. I mean, I've seen like every episode through like the first and six seasons. Probably not something to brag on, and I will admit the guy's funny. He has a witty tongue on him. But don't let that fool you guys. It doesn't mean he's a good guy just because he can make you laugh. Believe me, that does not make him a good person. Besides that, I mean, look at the show Ridiculousness. It's basically exploiting and embarrassing people from things that happen to them. I mean, if you think about it, it is kind of twisted. But one other key thing to keep in mind, guys, to prove my theory here is basically this. Christopher Boykins, Big Black, he was murdered shortly after. When I say shortly after, that might mean a few months after, but that's still relatively short. Shortly after Rob Dyrdek was cut from his DC company. So that is a huge thing to keep in mind, guys. Rob Dyrdek basically had him sacrificed for money. If you don't know, Hollywood is run by sick people, Satanists. It's run by complete scum, and you can have people sacrificed for money and fame. It happened with Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn. Don't get it twisted. Ryan Dunn did not die in a car crash. You'd have to be ignorant to believe something like that, guys. And it sucks that so many people believe these lies, who believe these stupid lies. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, I totally believe, once Rob Dyrdek found he wasn't getting that DC money, he decided to do something about it. And what did he do? He had his own friend sacrificed. But believe me, I use the term friend loosely here. I don't think they really even knew each other that well at this point. I mean, sure, maybe they said hi every once in a while and, maybe had a beer or something, but don't think that they were as close as you might think. You know what I mean? As the TV shows, don't think that they were that close, because I can promise you guys, at the end of the day, it's all business. So, anyways, guys, that's just my theory for you. I know I can't prove this, but really, like I said, if you piece the pieces together, it will show you plain as day that Rob Dyrdek is in fact a murderer. And all I can say is, Rob, you better get right with God before you die, man, because I would not want to die with that kind of sin on my hands. All I can say is enjoy your fancy cars and your big house and your beautiful wife, because when your soul passes on, you are not going to be having fun anymore, bro. You're not going to be having much fun in hell. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.